Hey everybody, Stwida coming at you with a Jabba versus Leia guide. Now there are a few things to take into consideration here. Leia does currently have a Kron that is relatively nice for Leia, but I don't think this one is like wild. The stats aren't off the charts. Jabba, not really anything going on. I'm just tossing on a health and protection Kron, but I mean, not a lot of great Jabba Krons either. So generally, this is how this is going to play out anyways, aside from the fact that, in my opinion, this is one of the ideal Leia teams that you probably won't see on defense all the time. This is Squad Arena, but that's because this uses Jin and Raddus. So that takes them away from Rogue One, and it effectively murders the Rogue One team. So it does make it a little bit more difficult, but all the more reason to show that this counter works. My Jabba, not particularly fast. I need better mods on my Jabba, but right now he's 533. Relatively important. You know, you generally want your boosh as fast as possible. Mine's 344, but this is more of a battle of mechanics, less so a battle of stats. So the main thing we're going to want to focus on here, is getting buff immunity on Drogon. So Boosh prevents assists, okay? So that's going to cripple Drogon to begin with because he does a lot of assisting and he does a lot of damage. So just by having Boosh, you are dealing with a less dangerous Drogon. By focusing him with the buff immunity, and really focusing anyone, but we're starting with Drogon because he's the biggest threat. By focusing Drogon with the buff immunity, he can't get second wind and he can't get stealth. That's the other annoying thing, right? Because R2 gives everyone stealth, and you can't target people who are in stealth. So buff immunity prevents the second win, the painful revives, and the stealth. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's see how this plays out. And by the way, like, my Chrysanthemum is Relic 5. He's not great. Nobody's really amazing on this team. So if this works, kind of proves my point. I'm guessing Leia will go first. Yes, of course. And so we can target Drogon. There's the buff immunity, and Boosh is just going to start doing her thing. I do actually recommend opening with the big explosion. You do want to get to payout ASAP, and that's a lot going on there, right? That is a lot of payout, so we do want to get there as soon as we possibly can. Drogon will eventually just die from assists. Okay, that's great. Yeah, we'll do this. Also want to kind of pay attention to Leia, make sure she doesn't get too much ult charge, and you will eventually just kind of focus the sides, right? Like R2 is slowly getting a boatload of bombs on him. Okay, there's an ambush, not the biggest deal in the world. R2's got damage immunity, kind of a bummer. But yeah, let's keep tossing on Leia right now. R2's eventually going to die to a bomb. We'll start thinking about whether or not we want to go for Raddus. Actually, let's just keep focusing Leia right now. Okay, it's fine. We just want to avoid getting her to ult. And another good thing when you focus Leia and you try to avoid letting her get her ult, Jabba will eventually get his ult, right? And so Jabba is going to be able to eat Raddus, for example, here. This is only easier once you start, you know, fighting a Leia that is not the optimal comp. So now we can get buff immunity on Leia. That's nice. Just keep going. Keep going on Leia. It's just a war of attrition here. Our Jabba is now at ult. Now, Boosh is kind of not looking great. However, the Jabba ult is going to heal her up. And oh, by the way, if you get a Boosh that's higher than Relic 5, you're going to have better luck with this. So let's pop some of these bombs. Looking good. And we can get going on... Let's keep going on on Leia. Let's get that armor shred up on Leia. Want to try to protect Boosh here. It's a little tricky. That's a lie. We're gonna switch to the sides here. R2 is on the verge of death, and I want him to pop. Kind of similar with Jin. However, Leia's almost at ult. We don't want her ult to kill anyone, so keep it going. Keep it going. Toss the bomb. She gets the buff immunity. Tons of assists. Let's actually... Yep, we'll give it to Jabba. More assists. Very painful. There you go. Leia's down. And now remember, this is one of the best Leia comps that there is. Oh, she brought Drogon back. Well, guess what? Eat him. It's huge to manage Leia's ultimate. If she gets a kill, someone gets revived, and really even without the revives, having that fracture on your entire team is extremely horrible, right? So kill Drogon because he does a ton of damage and there's a good chance that he'll just snipe your Boosh or it's just some other target that you need to do damage throughout the rest of the fight. As soon as you're done with Drogon, switch over to Leia and you'll slowly kind of kill the sides with AoEs and Jabba ults. And then don't let Leia get ult. Okay. That's really it. I think that's a pretty good example. If you have any questions, let me know in a comment down below. See you guys around.